Cauã, pode pegar a primeira kill, strafezinho, segura o dedo, controla o spray.
Making sure that nobody can really take in adjustments.
Smick standing here with Coach STK after an amazing map #1 against Evil Geniuses. I wanted to ask you about the role swaps that we've seen. Obviously, Sadak is now on Duelist and Tui's on Initiator. I think there were some people who definitely thought maybe it would be Tui's with Pankara coming in as controller. What was the biggest reason to have it done this way?
I think that Twiz is his characteristics are more defensive. Like we can tell them like in soccer he's the center back. You know? So for him to play Duelist will be hard. So I think that Sadak has this play style more aggressive, so make more sense for us to have adapt to Sadak on Duelist and Twiz in a more sports role, like playing Gecko, this kind of stuff.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.
Well, it looks like the stocks are high for Brazilian Valorant today as Loud picks up a map win against EG on their pick, Lotus 13-7. But this is a fascinating turn of events that we have found ourselves in here, not just because of, the fact that, well, Brazil's having a great day of Valorant, but also like just seeing Sadak play in that role, seeing Loud with so much cohesion as well, especially when we flip to the, to the second half there. But I think the conversation really has to start with the surprise picks, right? The Neon, the ISO on each side of the field here. Wyatt, I feel like we kind of saw the limitations of ISO, right, in a lot of these situations, right? Just spamming through smokes, crack your shield.
We also saw the benefits of ISO, and especially when you have a skilled duelist as Jojmo on it. He
that is
go
true.
8 for 1 first kills to first deaths, which is a bonkers stat line. They weren't able to capitalize off of it as a team to their detriment, but in moments like that, you can clearly see the value. He was winning the majority of the duels in the kill contract. It just wasn't consistent enough, and part of it, I think, as well, was just the comp I don't think was ideal for supporting or playing around the ISO.
Yeah, well, I think that is an interesting point there, right? Was the composition something that EG is going to need to have to recook a little bit if they end up in this situation again?
Yeah, I've seen it twice so far. Not feeling the ISO in pro play. I feel like, while the first kill stats is kind of crazy, it was just very easy in some of these instances for the top players to just cancel it out. With that being said, Sadak on the Neon was phenomenal. I was very surprised with the way that he was more of a, I guess, technical Neon in the way that he's not zooming all around and stuff like that. He's like specifically going for these timings and making sure he gets good stuns and stuff like that.
Not playing like MW. He was not doing that.
Speed, MW up here. Sadak chilling, vibing. And he has IGL from the role too, so it's a very interesting dynamic.
I mean, I talked earlier about how I felt like he was going to be super util heavy, and I feel like he really showed that because he was able to set up his team, even on those retakes or those post plans. He was able to set up each of his team to kind of go into sight and like capitalize on what we saw. Whereas on the other side, when we have that breach that has the same stun, that does the same thing, it didn't really feel like they were able to set up the ISO. And so I feel like that's kind of where in both comps, there was like that big difference and why we saw Neon kind of go crazy.
Yeah, well, I want to hear from Coach Potter and see what's going on with the EG camp as we get ready for map #2.
Smick standing here with Coach Potter after we see Loud win their map pick. 2 really quick questions there. Obviously, it was that second half where you struggled when you're on the defense half. What do you really think went wrong there? And then lastly, Neon, ISO, obviously we saw Jaw do Jaw things. What was your reason for ISO?
It's really Jaw. I mean, Jaw, whenever there's an opportunity to set him up to have fun and do Jaw things, that's what I'm going to do for sure. It's just the same problems from Split 1 for us. Pistol round and then losing both pistol rounds and both bonuses definitely did not help at all. So coming into map 2, we've got to have a stronger, faster start here.
Sounds good. Best of luck.
Seems like those glaring problems kind of back again. That was a thing that I remember Potter talking about, in stage 1. And it seems like those problems, again, to what she said.
She tracks that religiously with how good EG has been in the past with those specific rounds. So to see it fall short once again here, I was kind of scratching my head because it was a very close game in that first half. They got bonused, and then they got bonused again, but then it felt like the entire time Loud was in control, despite all that.
Yeah, they were in control because of those rounds that Potter talked about. But interestingly enough, of the 10 gun rounds played, Loud only won 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is pretty hard to believe given the scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said also, like, the first kill, first death or something.
For him.
Yeah, and they still on a losing effort there despite such a great result from EG in those categories. Certainly are going to sting, but they're going to need to worry about that later. For now, they got to take their way over to Sunset, see what happens over here. Remember, this is going to be Evil Genius's pick, but we have started to see what this Loud team is cooking, Wyatt, so there could be some unique compositions that we get from this.
We have not seen Loud on this map since they were still playing the Phoenix comps. It's been a while. It's been months.
That's right.
And what I'm really excited about right now with this Loud is that they are finally playing Cypher. They are playing the really good Sentinel that has been meta-defining all year. They threw that to the wayside. Les had played Cypher this year 3 maps, and Viper 23 maps. And it's going to be on the Cypher again, which I'm happy to see. We've got the Neon, which we saw in our
Fast and Furious out here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're about to get some sliding. Some drifting, Tokyo Drift. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for this. I just want to see how this is going to unfold.
I'm so excited for the Neon versus Neon, but the thing is, I feel like Loud just has that experience of Neon from playing on the map before, so I feel like Sadak is kind of going into it with that fresh mind of like, okay, just went crazy, let's do it again, let's call around it. But now when you have Jog kind of on it, we've seen him go crazy before just in general on the Duelist, but are they going to be able to set him up? We saw the Breach not really being that utilized as much, but I don't know. I'm excited, but we'll see.
Well, it's going to be the last match that we have between these teams. They went the distance last time we saw them take the stage. Is it going to happen again? Let's find out. Send it back over to your casters, Brent and Sideshow.
We'll certainly see heading into Sunset. Yeah, it's going to be EG's map pick. They made only the one change, right? It's Jogamo over onto the Neon. And, you know, some major adjustments overall. I guess, you know, Raze falling out of favor into the meta. But they have to do it here if they want to try and extend their play in the series overall. And it's an important one. Been mentioning it. 2 and 3 is where both of these teams stand so far in their season. And really, you need a win on the board at this point. We're getting into that middle section beyond that point. 5 weeks away from champs. It all really leads to that. And every win counts.
You have to, if you're either of these teams, you have to make your way into Stage 2 playoffs. You've got to at least get a good enough record, probably somewhere around the 500 mark, to be able to get into playoffs and then prove yourself to have a run towards champions. Now, it's going to be very difficult for both of these teams. Though, of course, with the talent on the roster, most people would be expecting Loud to do it if only one of the orgs did. But EG surprised last year. EG getting their way into B, a fairly free site. Both of these team compositions are going to be really happy retaking.
Hello. This is going to be broken there. Really fighting over this one, Jorgamo. It's not willing to let them get even a foothold in. Double dash going to be used here with a sliding glide, man. This guy is on fire right now.
The movement abilities just fit Jorgamo so well.
Yeah.
If they gave ISO a dash, I'm sure he would have farmed even harder in Lotus. But to me, when I think about Jorgamo, I think about a player who takes unexpected, aggressive timings, pushes, and tries to turn one advantage into a huge advantage. And I think this Neon is going to be very different to the way that Sadak plays it. I think we're going to get to see the full range of what this agent is capable of, playstyle-wise.
Bit of a contrast between the two. It's an easy orb over towards A. EG just taken up over towards market control. Second wave of things there as well, making sure to try and take that fight. Lesto caught tucked into the corner, won't be able to escape any of those bullets. So EG will be able to get that plant down.
And focusing all of these ult orbs into Nature as well, who's almost halfway to that first ult being online. And the fact that EG are getting a pistol under their belt, getting set up to, you know, run one of their bonus round strategies rather than have to fend off one of Loud's. These are all great starts and exactly what Potter was talking about.
It is baffling, absolutely baffling, that Loud only won 3 out of 10 of the like true gun rounds. Those that weren't bonuses weren't.
Yeah, that is bizarre.
Gun versus a half-fight kind of setups. But a lot of those EG had big ultimates for. Or they came towards the end of the first half. Clean, execution-style finish to the round from Apoth. And 3 of those guns, all that were invested, kept into the bonus. So
what you were saying, right?
Yeah, some really good firepower coming into this. And, what we watched when we were watching Victor play on this map for NRG, he brought the attack side all the way back into overtime playing against Sentinels, because these tight areas on Sunset, it is so tough to hit a Neon sliding in. And when you've got aim as good as Jorgamo, if he's sliding in front of you, you're probably already dead. I'd like to see them try to put him in position to go for kills like that. Set up for a B-split here, maybe on the bonus.
There's a lot of danger here, at least for Loud, going up against this bonus round. You know EG are going to be putting in the time into a map like this here, and already you're seeing it, man! Fully accurate, glides forward, does not give a damn about the trips!
So good. His aim is so clean. Sadak's trying to do what he can on the opposite side of the map. Cleans up Apoth. Maybe they don't have to worry about the mid-lurk too much. But guess what? Jorgamo's already reflanking in that spot. You'd expect the Neon to still be trying to challenge Market. Backside. Jorg's already there.
He's rapid. He's just playing with the man. Look at him.
He could leave. He could go back in.
He doesn't know what he wants to do.
He's 7-1 already. He can do what he likes.
The decision's made for them. And Loud's saving away at his 3 rifles. Sadak low enough there.
Yeah, they've won some 3v5s so far in this match, but this is not going to be one of them. Trying to get back into the site. Everybody in B main, these kind of post plants are very difficult to break at the best of times. So it's ridiculous, honestly, that you're looking at the stats. If you only looked at the stats page of map 1, and you see, you know, 13 first kills for EG on Lotus, and then you're seeing Jorgamo 8-1 in first kill to first death, 300 ACS on the ISO. You would expect that the scoreline would be closer and Jorgamo would have felt like he dominated the game, but he really didn't. They held the ISO down to only having stats impact, whereas now he's on the Neon, he's unleashing devastation upon Loud. And creating so much space with what he's doing as well.
Important final kill as well, that he managed to wrangle the rifle out of the hands of the one Loud player. Only got the 2 to work with in this one, the rest of it a bit weaker with the weaponry. See a standard taker market. EG been doing this with the fault line, a prowler. It's all going to be accompanying Jorgamo. He's quick to really just evade that one as well, with a one-way and a flash heading his way.
Still got another slide. Can afford to use them on stuff like that. Now, Sadak's just trying to play this in a more standard, you know, reserved manner, where he's taking some space on the opposite side, playing an aggressive angle, giving his team information, not trying to dominate the game with his rifling. That's what I'm talking about when I say that both of these Neons are going to play so differently here on Sunset.
That's just not with a crosshair placement in this one. It's open access over towards the B side. Jorgamo, just don't know which direction this guy's going to be moving in. Slowing it down, just walking. Ult still out though, stunned up. My God, might be getting ahead of himself here, up onto the flank with Apoth falling. Creates an opening now for Loud to really capitalize. Do they want to jump onto this one here again? Stun, locking him and rooted to the spot. Jorgamo, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Sadak. South now into the back of the site. And they've got less things to worry about with Apoth, who was cleaned up prior, as we were talking about. Fault line. Going to be used, the first wave of defense here to try and push them back and away from this one with a couple of bullets and a raw spam. Might be enough to take away a kill or 2, but it goes either direction. And who can win out this fight? It's a very difficult retake to even make happen. Cowards in sticking! Pancada! He covers it all though.
Beautifully done there from Loud. Very difficult to crack these B main post plants, but the coordination between Sadak and Pancada was fantastic. Another situation where Sadak does not dominate with the rifling, but sets up another player on his team to have that impact. And yet another round, by the way, where EG get the first kill and end up losing. Felt like they should have been able to get extra kills through the smoke, but that is just the nature of post plants like that. Sometimes things are not going to quite go your way when you're relying on pinging.
Does he see nothing, but full line still setting Sadak. This guy is eager to draw blood. No one willing to stand and fight the guy though. That's a delayed paranoia. Will force out a lot of util on either side once more. 2 years spamming down a few stray bullets. Just catches onto that cranium, man. I don't know exactly what Jorgamo is. Sadak, this guy is galvanizing with his performance. And hopping in the spot. Superman with nowhere to run. That's a flawless finish to that round there. Loud finally getting their feet back underneath them with a second round here overall in the map.
What was that prediction onto Jorgamo?
Yeah.
Perfection from Sadak as he just throws his lightning fingers through over to elbow. Couldn't see him, but just thought that that would be the kind of spot that Jorg would try to fight in, helping the rest of his team. And playing off the thrash there, coordination beautiful from Sadak and 2Es. On the other side of the map, by the way, complete opposite side, no action happening, but less throwing an aggressive cam, looking for information. And this time they've got a cam that spots a main. And again on the other side, playing for info. So really heavy info setup in the outskirts of the map.
What? Okay.
Wow.
Look at the catch that one. They do. The stun is true. Right onto 2 years.
I don't even know where EG are ending.
I mean, I don't know either. It's all over the place right now with the players just holding down the positioning. At least for Loud, making sure that all the stragglers get caught there. That was all over the place from EG.
It's a bit bizarre. I think they were trying to hope that Loud would rotate to try to help 2Es in that spot, but
You've got to give them time to rotate.
yeah, and Jorgamo and Apos were just ended up away from the fight. Jorg's got caught.
Seemingly just walking straight into the trip. Less play for his life.
Now that is a lovely wall.
Nature with the plan. Nothing to push him back and away from this one, so into the post we go. Ball line's good to slow. Same with the aftershock, but they know these players' positions now. At least they got it. Stun's good.
I know exactly.
Paranoia even better. Apop has to defend him now. Has to be the bodyguard. Get down, Mr. President of Nature. Now might be your time to show up and turn up into the fight. Pushing past it. One player left alone. It's him. Isolated. Attack from Pancada. He needs to fight though. Nature, will he be granted it? Will it be given? Not quite anything. Plucked out of the scene there. So Loud making it nice. And even 3-3 up for the scoreline.
It's another round though where EG have a set play, use a breach ult to be able to get a pick. Start things off with a player advantage, and yet, I don't want to say half-baked, I think it was overcooked. They were only committing to a B split with 3 of their players because Jorgamo was waiting for people on A and Apop was lurking A.
Shameful performance.
A strange one.
I think if you're going to commit your breach ult like that, you might as well be going for an A split through mid. But I'm not sure whether that was a bad idea, a failed execution of the idea. Difficult to know when that's the first time we've seen EG run that strat.
There. Bring them down.
And the money's not looking too good for EG. Round was good. It is even better. Potentially there with the stuns. On either side, just seeking to defend these players who are caught. Really isolated. Popped down into the position. Derek is rattling away. Shot to the Sheriff, but finally brought down to his knees. Plan from Nature, though. That space given. Jorgamo! Not with a crosshair placement. I'm expecting the player was going to be there. Nature obtains the upgrade, but the plan position is not good for him if he wants to play this angle here, unless he gets this kill. The Pancada is sharp. It's on point today with a lot to prove.
And he's looking great. He hasn't been the player that's taken over the game necessarily, but just so solid in his positions. Every time he's asked to do something, he delivers on it. Very stable player, Pancada, and that was exactly how he was when he was up at the top of the scene with Loud. Now on map 1, the frag differential was massive between these two squads. EG only had 2 players that were popping off, and that was Jorgamo and Superman. Superman's down now at the bottom of the scoreboard, only 1 and 5. The other players are turning up a bit more, finding their moments. You just saw a 2K from Derek in that round. You know, they're trying to find their footing. The more supportive elements of the 2 initiators and the Cypher, but they're not really getting that extra firepower coming from another player, and it feels like EG's ideas, once they get the opening kill, are still not working. I mean, the 4v5 win rate from Loud has just been outrageous this match so far. Things that shouldn't be happening.
They can't be letting them get away with it.
Yeah, and it kind of fits a pattern that we've seen from Evil Geniuses all year, that I think a lot of people will be putting down to the fact that it's an inexperienced roster. They have good ideas to set themselves up for wins, but then it crumbles when the pressure is applied to them. Maybe that's just a factor of time to hone those issues out, but time's ticking. 2 and 3, staring down 2 and 4. That's a difficult record to recover if they can't win here on Sunset.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into the fancy numbers, the projections. A lot of players just seemingly misinterpreting numbers, thinking that they've been eliminated already, but...
I mean, I think that was a joke.
It was a joke from last year with Cryo, yeah. I mean, it tripped a lot of people up, myself included.
Unless Boostio really thinks he was playing against MIBR, in which case that's even more disrespectful.
Yeah. We're waiting his retirement eagerly. Jorgamodo. We're close to that status. Nightfall being used to supplement. I'm not sure if that tagged onto the corner, but the Prowler, well, it just doesn't quite land it. Really just sliding straight to Pancada, not able to gleam anything more out of the round. Still, with him dropped. Side with the op. That's just a contact play to get back up onto the angle. What a committal by 2 years.
Yeah, Loud are finding these opportunities where they feel incentivized to go for the info peak, to go for a play because they're down at a spot. And that's where EG have been finding success, is by adding these pauses, the slower pace into the game like this, and then punishing Loud for going for the stuff like that. Apot's wiggling his way through on the other side of the map, trying to find out where these players are, playing for information. The only disaster here for EG would be if Les is not spotted, but the spike is headed over towards B.
Yeah.
Now, if both of the initiators die, though, on A, that would be bad.
Would be dire. Les. Hello, this guy's catching it. Apop, though, surely. It's going to be hearing Sadak, but Sadak does have the operator. Les is clearing him up, man. You said it could be bad. You got to be worried in this spot.
The time, though, is off massively on EG's side.
The patience.
He's missed it.
Surely he doesn't get punished for it. Yeah, okay.
I thought Sadak had full-on run into sight there.
Les knows where one of them is, though. There's the cam. Spike's ticking, though. So goes the chances. Cage doesn't quite cover the spike either, so
no problem.
Superman going to be aware that nobody's on this one, and already that's going to be the win into the round, so... EG. Do want to keep these guns, I believe. Money's not looking too hot.
Yeah, it would be nice to keep the weaponry. Not completely necessary, but good for them. Only Superman's able to be carried into the next. I think, though, that kind of round is what they need to be going for. Map control at the beginning, trying to take fights. We've seen how good Neon is over towards Elbow. And then slow it down. Do I agree with Derek and Nature hanging around in Elbow for that long? No, I think they should have doubled up and left. But they still had the round secured at that point, basically. So I don't really need to nitpick. Is Cohen's even going to think about ulting into A lobby if Sadak gets pressure?
Oh, that's a lot of util. The after-shot mats, I mean, slows Paranoia. It's all use. It's a foul combination once more. And they want to send the roll in front on top of it. Superman, it's way ahead of it. Forwards and around. Just tripping them out, I think, with the Prowler in their faces. Jordan now floating it with the overdrive in his hand. No one in sight. Rapid start and basically finish the round. Still a 2v3 for Loud. They might see if they can maybe get a kill, maybe make a go of things, but it's a hard ask. Reload, heard, Superman has to reposition. Neurotheft going to be revealing that position. Doubled up now. Side by side through marking. The swing needs to be good, and it is. Movement and shot even better from Les. Same needs to be set though for these EG players, and they do take the fights together in kind. Nothing slips. 2 years dropped to just 30. They won't take much to really topple this guy. Cage dropped. Doesn't know where the player is. Only 7 bullets now. An impossibility. He's got to back away. Maybe force them to just stick around. Maybe take a few guns away.
Go, go, go! Gotta go!
EG up to 5.
And despite losing a player over towards B lobby at the very beginning of that round, They just carve their way in through market. Superman with a really nice play as well. Just crossing up loud over there. This is how Nature died at the very beginning of the round.
I mean, that's where our attention was, right?
Yeah.
But this is what was occurring over towards mid and market.
Yeah, and the market pressure just ended up being way too much, and Apoth actually slipped through top mid as well and ended up coming around behind. And I love the idea of doing that. Apoth getting a bit more aggressive on the lurk. Off the back of that distraction is a great idea.
Oh my goodness, I mean, Sadak's head of all of it.
I think that's only Jorgamo's second first death all match.
He's been dominating.
I think he's 13-2 right now, if I've been, you know, if we're keeping track correctly. But that is monstrous. Huge to get him out of the round early on for Loud.
That's been that sticking point for Loud to be able to get those rounds on the board. Aftershock should force the fight out into the open. Still, Apoth gets the one. It's good on him before being traded. High ground from Superman. Dodging most of the util going their way, and it's just bullets flying forwards into these smokes. All the angles that they're expecting these players. Less will maybe take a timing. Looking to get ahead of this one. Rolling Thunder just going to be pushing him back into safety. Quick hops. Nice moves all around, and he is being defended. Overzealous by Nature. It's 2v2.
That's a rough mistake there. Asking for way too much. You're in a 3v2 scenario. Play crosses. Make it tough for Loud. They only had a Paranoia to work with. EG cannot let this one fumble.
Already swept through and used. Playing inside the smoke now. Derek. Great kill to find. Pancada is left alone. 1v2. Jump spots. Or from Derek just seeking to buy a bit of time here. Superman is nowhere in sight, but Pancada surely got to be worried about this one. Setting up a bit of a smoke in the one way. Still Derek's buying that time. He's such a nuisance and annoyance. No way, Pancada. Absolutely no shot. Ticking. I believe the opportunity slips away.
Touch and go just for a moment. But EG managed to win a round without Jorgamo getting the first kill.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the key.
Jorgamo.
Maybe
throw your life away.
It's not like they've been converting many of their 5v4 rounds. But this map's been a bit better. It's again another fairly competitive first half. But EG is starting to pull out into the lead with 3 rounds in a row. Last time Sadak had his ult online, he was destroying people over towards A lobby. They're going to make it feel like the same thing again, but this time he's coming tiled.
Insert and pressure, it's been applied all over the place here. Still in his hands, how was he landing that? Plenty of targets to work with. Just jumps right into the open arms of the EG player, so he's traded him.
He went back in for more.
He did.
What is he thinking?
He's just manic, man. Jorgamo waiting to strike. Slides forward, still at the full accuracy, but Prowler just did not assist him in the slightest. Plenty of players now watching for this one, and it's over just like that. Okay.
These rounds have been so back and forth.
Yeah.
They genuinely have no relevance to who gets the first kill. No, there is no correlation here. It might be a negative correlation. But, you know, Sadak is coming down mid. He does get the opener, gets traded instantly. But then as EG try to use, I don't know, a bit of the information to push forwards, they must know that they're going into a stack there as well. That was where the initiator utility came from to open up Sadak's play.
I don't know, man.
It feels like both teams are just getting pulled into the maw, finding it difficult to slow down the pace with the neon on both sides.
Something to the fights here. It's a week goodbye for the final round of this first half. Nightfall is going to be committed. Thrash used in kind. 2 years. So you can push this one back, but a stun slows it down. Not going to be able to find anything. Might be able to reclaim the orb, at least for round 2 of things, but potential for a refight. Sadak might even be eager for it. Ults cancel. It's going to be shot in place.
Thrash is ready.
Player disadvantage for EG. That's why they're slowing this one down here. One and done position. What's going to be called? Sadak playing together with him, and the fight to 1 out. Loud just dominating across the board here. It's a clean, almost sweep from them. Kawazine was left alive, but 6-6 will be where they finish here for the first half of Sunset.
Dead similar to what we saw on Lotus. Lotus, it was 4 rounds in a row from EG, I think it was, towards the end to bring them back into the game. This time it's Loud with a bit of a recovery, but it's so brawly.
Yeah, they just opted into the fights.
Yeah, I like the idea of slowing the round down when you're up a player because it forces Loud to make something happen, but EG really getting sucked into the game in a way that they couldn't control.
Yeah, well, my brain is being reformatted from the Valorant we've seen so far. So let's send it down to the desk. Maybe they can explain things for us.
Well, good news is I won't be, because Lord knows no one wants that. Thankfully, I have three brilliant minds here to explain what we're seeing here. And I think, though, the talk of the town...
Where?
The Tacta Bear, actually, is one of them.
Okay, gotcha.
And then I'll let you guys fight to the death to figure out who the other two are. All right, well, let's go ahead and do a little check-in with our neons, shall we? Because that definitely seems to be the thing that is dictating, Balla, the pace of this matchup, how things are shaping out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this neon for Jog looks way better than the ISO, and he, in my opinion, has the best movement we've seen out of any neon so far.
Which isn't shocking
in terms of mechanics. No, not shocking at all. But Sonic is still playing so well, and it's crazy to me that this guy is IGLing while playing neon on such a fast-paced map and running down mid half of the rounds.
Yeah, I feel like we're seeing like this crazy like.
He's gonna lose his mind.
Yeah, he's losing.
But I have a conniption over
you
here.
While the game was going on, Ball was just like, "What are you doing?" No, but I feel like we're seeing this crazy crossover of like the strategic neon. For the most part, except for like a couple rounds. And then we have Jogamo on like this fast-paced neon, ready to take aggressive space and kind of pushing forward and making sure that the team kind of gets on site all fine. So I feel like we're seeing that crossover, and I agree. I think his movement is insane. But on the other side, like Sadok's util is also insane. Like I feel like they're both being great.
Yeah, you can definitely see the difference in their early engagement kind of style just based on the fact that Jogamo has like 5 first kills right now.
Yeah.
And Sadok has, I think, only maybe 1 or 2, if I remember correctly. But just taking way less first engagements. Now that the sides are swapped, though, and he'll be on attack, I'm interested to see if Sadok is going to be able to step up to the level Jogamo has in regard to getting entries.
Yeah, I mean, well, we saw what happened in map 1 when they flipped sides there and Loud just ran away with it. Could history repeat itself? Send it back over to Brennan's Sideshow.
We'll see. I mean, much more even now, isn't it? Like 6-6. Don't really, like, you've said it, right? We're keeping up to date with kind of the first kills and the correlation there. But to be honest, just because the first kills are, the gun rounds are going even and the rounds are even doesn't mean that, the teams that are getting the first kills are winning those rounds. Could be that both of these teams are losing people and winning the rounds still.
It's very true. I mean, towards the end of that half, though, it was a little more correlated.
I'm out of here.
I'm interested to see what Loud have got cooked up on their attack side, though, because I think Sadok called a really nice game from Duelist on Lotus. That's a rarity. We used to have quite a lot of Duelist IGLs at the very beginning of the game.
Repeat, Sadok, what are you doing there, man? Pulling out the sprint, seeing if you could escape, potentially, with the glide, but no.
Trusting heavily in Pancada's paranoia that it was going to push people off the line. And just not quite getting that priority when he wanted it. It's a pretty standard kind of map control play, but this time EG disrespect it. And I think that's what you get from Jogamo. You get a lot of disrespecting of opponent's utility and unconventional timing.
Whew. That shot lands, but EG quick to shore up the defenses. It's a great beginning for the pistol around here. It's slow and steady, but enough to get the job done. Fault line forwards. Derek. A lot of damage returned to him towards the top section of mid. Tap, tap, tap going to Ghost, but again, no casualties. It's Loud are the ones who need to find them.
Jogamo is on the flank here. And I think he's got a really nice timing. 2E's taking it slow. 2 players ready to go.
He knows everything. Inside the smoke as well. So anti-flash being played. 2 years, a bit of spam. He seems to be aware of it. Instinctual, but yeah, from behind. Wrap around, snap around. It's 2 years. Quick 180. There's a lot more to do where that came from. So pistol round win for EG. They're taking a lead now in this map.
So both pistols go the way of Loud on Lotus. Both pistols now going the way of EG here on Sunset. So that's one of the ticks in the box in terms of the things that Potter was trying to pay attention to and reinforce within the team. And just in case you're wondering, Jogamo 8-1 on Lotus in first kills to first. That's 6-1 at the moment here on Sunset.
Man.
14-2 total first kill to first death. Utterly, utterly dominant at setting his team up for advantages.
Quick pre-fire for the Dizzy. Around like this. Risk to be taken by Loud. EG do have, going for the 3 rifle by 2 pistols, keeping it in, seeing if they can get something really healthy and dangerous going for the bonus, but it does open up a bit of a danger zone.
If he gets another first kill here, he's going to be 7-1, which would be quite fitting against the Brazilian team.
Yeah. Almost going down to that spam. Defensive setup, though, is pretty concrete, at least for EG's side of things. Les does take away a nice easy kill there onto Superman, but it's evened out. Giacomo, once more, go on walkabouts. With the kill onto Superman, it's forcing EG to make a call to try and re-clear something. They're seemingly unaware of this. And
they've got an open
avenue all the way up towards the B side. Giacomo, though, he's so fast at this one. He's sprinting right onto him with the spike drop down and the door in your face. They did. They're just, I mean, locked out of position, locked away from any chance of winning the round.
Karanzine usually has the spike. He's playing breach. I think he thought for a moment there that he'd got through with the spike. I believe it was him who just closed the door, locking himself off from the play.
Go, go, go.
EG not going to have a huge amount of weaponry here on the bonus. Not expecting this one to be particularly dangerous. But, you know, if Giacomo can land a ridiculous kill with a Guardian, then, of course, it still could be. But this is where Loud have an opportunity to stabilize. It was double bonus rounds that set up Loud so well on Lotus. EG would love for something like that. It just doesn't look likely. 2 sheriffs.
They've given a rifle over to Jorg.
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
Yeah.
If there's anyone that's going to make it happen, it would be him.
Holding down the A main chokehold. Side by side, him and Derek.
If there was ever a round to run a slow default, it would be this one. Prowler detects the trip, breaks it, so now bodies are going to have to stay.
Ooh, a stun as well. This movement. Giacomo. Good. Almost a hack middle, but no, yeah, it just fades all of it.
That stun from Jorg is so nice. The relay bolt flicked behind a 180 as he's moving away to stop any follow-up from the fault line. Oh, immaculate. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, high IPM type beat.
Right there.
Trip's going to be a bit of a nuisance as well. Apoff touch close to the corner.
One aftershock actually is going to break both of these trips, though. Classic aftershock in that spot.
Yeah, okay, so well. Still locked into the corner. The Dizzy a little bit delayed there. So I don't know even to play over this, and it hasn't been called correctly. Still, the classic. Karazine is there. Superman even better with that sheriff. Might be golden for it.
Cover going out.
Smoke dropped. So one way onto the top of the box. Derek ensuring the mid is cleared out before he really commits into this one with a full retake. They do have time on their side to go slow and steady onto the approach, and it would be that bonus round conversion for EG. They'd love for it. Smoke though. It's Pancadas. We'll force some forwards here with the aftershock as well. Out of the way. Superman sticking. Bit of miscommunication in terms of where this has been planted. It's actually in front of the pillar. They're spamming it to the left into the wrong spot. So EG just get a free defusal all the way. Listen, it's crispy at the end, but a bonus round win for EG. They planted in a different spot.
Yes. That might be a lack of experience from 2Es playing Gecko. It's not a normal spot to plant there. The meta spots to plant are on the corners, kind of on the ramp, where all of your spam is going to land on the diffuser. Instead, he pointed it straight at the pillar. Wingman went over and planted in a spot where you can be on a full half circle. And also, it looked like the pings were off.
I feel like the pings were off, yeah.
But that's just, I mean, it shows you the spike on the minimap.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't know.
Shouldn't be missing the pings.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the smokes were in my face. You know, I couldn't quite tell the depth of it, but it looked like they were.
It looked like it was off. Now, I said that bonus round was going to be really difficult to convert. And we're dwelling a lot on the, the misplay towards the end of Loud, because it did look winnable in the post plan. But
yeah.
What are those shots from Superman? 2 sheriff shots to open things up as he's defending the site, flooding in. That's the kind of impact that he was giving you on Lotus. That's the kind of performance you need from some of these other players that aren't Giacomo, that aren't defending champions from last year, kept together on the roster. You need a bit of that from some of these others to win you around here or there, and EG, they've got that round 15 looking pretty. On the other side of things again, I think the KD was 20-9 from less on Lotus, and it's still looking fearsome here. He's got the hero rifle.
Gotta go.
And I think that's who you really want to have it in their hands.
It's been performing. But so is Giacomo. He's relentless right now. in the series, in the map. No clearance into the corner. Apop's going to be covered there. Wolf just to get him out of dodge. And Paranoia to supplement. Jorgamo, he's hunting even further. This guy, man! He can't be stopped!
It's so nice. God, the utility is brilliant. Apoth has pushed down mid. He throws the wall for Apoth to escape. Dashes so that he avoids the utility coming his way. Stuns so he can follow up. Dizzy in his face, doesn't even bother. Uses the second slide.
He's operating on a different level, man.
He's actually, his brain moves faster than the average human.
I'm watching him do it. I can't think that fast. The orders of operations, man, that he's having to do.
It's so nasty good. Get him on the full-time Neon. I mean, the ISO was fun. It was cool, but he's cooking.
Yeah, movement agents, he's cooking.
I'm out of here.
So Loud had absolutely no chance in that round. Eco and Jorgamo masterclass. So, wait, what is this? He's up again.
He's pushing them in.
He's up again. They just can't get a handle on where he is and what he's doing. It's another first kill to add to the list.
The disrespect is crazy. The wall, though, it's propped up, seeking that engagement. Sadak gliding, and at least there is that follow-up. So it's traded. Loud, not quite with the advantage, but at least it is a 3 versus 3. No backside control. Again, that plant. It's going to be going towards the pillar. Nature, do you really just let this one go straight past? Seeking the timing. Dizzy connects. He's missed his opportunity and his chance. He was hoping the player would walk in front of him. He's still alive for the retake, and that's what matters now.
Same plant position, by the way, so that 2Es can play off it in market.
In front of the pillar, with him going down, it's going to be much more difficult to play this post plan. A lot's going to be asked for from Les and Kawazine. Util in their hands. Big tap, Kawazine, fault line, spreads. That's going to be an aftershock, and it should clear them off, but Apoph gets half anyway. There's no way. It missed! Just slightly ajar. Again, this man plant positioning EG up to 11.
Well, Loud took a tag timeout to talk about their post-plant setups. You've got to imagine, and that is just another disaster. It's hard to tell exactly where the mistake is there. Is it slightly off in terms of the plant spot when he's throwing in the Gecko, throwing in the Wingman, sorry? Or is it Kawazine who's just missing the aftershock in that position? Either way, disaster.
Yeah.
And yeah, that plant position is, it's good for market, but it isn't as good for the B main post-plant. Loud are getting ruined in this spot. They were dominating post-plant situations on Lotus. That was primarily one of the reasons why they were winning in that map. And here, 2 massive ones have fallen away from them. Couldn't be more important. Round 15, the anti-bonus, and round 17, the next rifle round, both lost in a very similar fashion.
These pivotal rounds that are just escaping them. Forced to take a timeout on Loud's end.
I mean, they took a timeout, I'm pretty sure,
just
straight
a few
after the
moments
other
ago.
one.
Yeah.
Like 2 rounds ago, they took a timeout. And they're making the same mistake, so I can't imagine they've got too much new to discuss with their coach. Crowd excited that EG have a great chance of being able to win here and push things forward onto Icebox. I've no idea what these teams are going to be playing on Icebox.
What to expect.
Could be absolutely anything.
Could be all over the place.
But Loud desperately need to put something on the board here. They're going to force. So 2 stingers, one of which is on Sadak, and Sadak has his ult. So it's really not that bad of a vibe.
Less danger there, but he's going to let it loose almost immediately. Look at this guy, putting his way forwards. For a way into the site, looking almost for a kill as well. Apoph! Pointed directly towards him, he knew where to pre-aim. Still, they did get that side access. Trips dealt with. The player disadvantage, mosh pit. Straight to the corner, no players there.
Jogamo's very, very late to this.
To the back of the site, flash, what a connection! Multitude of targets, Paranoia delayed and even misses. No way to follow up onto this one. Loud in shambles in terms of how they want to play this one, and they can't get a hand to Joggamo! It is pure filth, man! Josh is levering and he's almost pulled the headset off his head.
What am I watching?
Dude, I mean, I don't know.
What am I watching?
I don't know. Forget the tactical shooter label.
They released Valorant 2!
Dude, it's an arena shooter now.
Jogamo's playing Valorant 2!
TF2 fans, we are so back.
What is this? He's crushed him up so bad,
That is actually crazy. He broke the ankle so hard. That is actually filthy. I can't believe it.
The way that he's weaving his movement and then throwing out stuns mid-movement. You remember the previous round where he was getting away from the fault line punish? 180 flicks and throws out the relay ball as he's sliding away.
He's on a different level right now. There's never been a firmer knee on him.
Oh my God.
Aftershock. It's in his face once more with a glide. Still, that's a connection, a shutdown onto Sadak.
I mean, nice from Sadak, but it's only a 140.
Yeah.
Brutal. Taken out. And on top of that, Tui's falls. Drops the spike. I mean, this has been a joy to watch.
Go, go, go.
And a pure reflection of what we saw on Lotus.
And he wants more. Look at this guy. The whole team capitalizing. Doesn't matter if he goes down. One left standing. It's Pancada. 12-6. It's all on his shoulders to get the map continuing, but in all reality, we are almost certainly heading to Icebox.
Pancada, I just think, has no hope of converting this, and EG know it. Superman closes things out.
Defenders win.
And what a performance from EG and Jorgamo in particular. The first kill, the first death is off the charts. The impact is enormous, but what he's actually doing in terms of weaving these abilities and movement setups together is like nothing I've seen. I mean, this is immaculate stuff.
I mean, that boy just different. I don't know what to tell you.
300 ACS, 22 and 14. He went 8-1 on Lotus in terms of first kills to first deaths. I'm not sure exactly what it was in this map, but we'll have the stats coming through shortly. I think it was something similar. It might have been even more.
Yeah.
He just absolutely dominated.
That was a joy to watch, man. Start to finish, it shows that EG as well got that preparation in spades for their own map picks. But now we're heading over to Icebox. Time for that quick break. When we return, the analysts are all going to get us nice and ready for it.
Don't you see the mess you made? Yeah, I'ma hit the road, babe. Yeah, I'ma hit the road, babe. I think we need to go our ways. Don't you see the mess you made? Yeah, I'ma hit the road, babe. Yeah, I'ma hit the road, babe. I think we need to go our ways. Don't you see the mess you made? Yeah, I'ma hit the road, babe. Yeah, I'ma hit the road, babe. Don't you see the mess you made? Yeah, I'ma hit the road, babe. Yeah, I'ma hit the road, babe. I think we need to go our ways. Don't you see the mess you made? Yeah, I'ma hit the road, babe. Yeah, I'ma hit the road, babe. I think we need to go our ways. Don't you see the mess you made? Yeah, I'ma hit the road.